Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do things a little bit differently today. I'm going to be playing a game called Cloud Gardens. I've played several hours of it before and I highly enjoyed it, and I figured this would be a good game to show off on the channel. I'm not sure how long this will take me, how many episodes it will be. We'll see what happens. It's a very cozy, comfortable game, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Let's get started. So I'm going to click on this ball of plant. That's just what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to collect the seed. And this is, it says at the bottom, wisteria. And now I'm able to plant it somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the seed and plant it right where it tells me. We have a little counter at the bottom. That's to the completion of this. Every time I place an object down on the level, it's going to cause the plant to grow a little bit. There's not many instructions here. It's just you figure it out as you go along. And I'll talk a bit more about the mechanics as they come up. So for right now, I'm going to place this sign right here, and you'll see our wisteria plant start to grow. Very organic. I'll go ahead and put one more sign down. It even says place objects near plants to grow them. And it's okay if we get the leaves off a little bit. There we go. We even have a bird somewhere. Let's go ahead and continue to the next scene. Another cityscape, urban environment that we can see here. Another bird. We have two wisteria plants. I'm going to collect both of them and think about where to put them. I want to put these up high because, as you noticed earlier, they grow better from when they're hanging off something. They're even saying plant on the front here. So I'm going to plant one right here. Sorry, bird. And another right there. We have a bottle. I'll put the bottle down. And our plants will start to grow. A lot in this game is left to your imagination. I'll talk about more of what that means in a little bit. Oh, we've already completed this level. The first few start off pretty simply, pretty quickly. There is a strategy to doing this as we get to more complex levels. It's an interesting level here. Another big signpost. Almost looks like a highway sign of some sort. I'm going to plant it right there where it suggests. Yep, and wouldn't you know it? My hunch was right. I think I remember this part. I'll go ahead and put that down. It seems like the bigger the object is, that valence of, or radius, diameter, whatever you want to call it, the circle is what I'm trying to say. The larger it is, the more the plant grows, or so I think. We'll move on to the next scene. Go ahead and put it right there. I'll grab another sign and I'll put it right near it. Put this one, how about here? And you can see now this is one of the core mechanics. We can collect, in this case, those look like flower. I'm zooming in really far. I didn't mean to go that far. Some flower buds there. And you can see in the bottom corner, we have a new counter. So if I put some more stuff down, I know I just put it right on the text. There you go. We're almost there. I'm going to put one right here. Collect another. And now we can put down another wisteria plant. And this is how we can keep growing more plants. %. You can see it gave me a few more things, I believe. It doesn't matter overmuch if you don't collect them immediately. You'll get more. I'll even humor the game and I'll put down one more right here. And put this one right here. Now, if you do put down your object on where a plant is, it's going to get rid of the plant. So you always have to be careful of that. Not all of the plant per se, but it will work to your detriment. It will undo some of the plant's growth. 95%. I think this last one, I know I'm piling them on here. Let's put this one there. And I think that will almost do it. There we go. Next scene. And it's starting to look pretty nice, these environments that we're creating. New objects for creative mode. I reset my entire progress here for the sake of this playthrough. Not a huge deal. We'll get back there fairly soon. So now we have some new seeds. I believe this is pothos, if I had to recall correctly. And this type of mesh here with these 4 green corners, this helps to accelerate some growth. It's a good way to show off a new plant. I always like these cards. They remind me of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon trading cards from when I was a kid. I'll go ahead and click the pothos seed. And you can see there, that gives you a hint about what's going on in this game, this overgrown stop sign. You notice there's a lot of decay going on, and we'll see that going on. They never outright say it, and there's the pothos growing with its little flower buds. It's easy to imagine, it's really growing. It's easy to imagine, or my perspective on this is a post-apocalyptic environment where there's no humans, there's just plants and crows or ravens, whatever they are. And that's it. Let's go on to the next scene. Streetlight, a car. Now this could obviously be a junkyard too. I mean, cars do exist in junkyards in that kind of state. Now that looks like the pothos. I just wanted to be super sure. So I'm going to put the pothos on the ground. And here's where we have to start being careful. I don't want to put the tire right here. But I could put it somewhere close by. Put some more down. And this pothos, and you can really zoom in. It looks pretty cool. Maybe not that far. But the pothos really just grows over anything. Oops. And if something goes off the edge, it just comes back into your inventory. Not a huge deal. You won't get the same plant bonus, though. You can just put it wherever. Put it right there. That might... Yep, there goes a little bit of the pothos plant. I'm going to go ahead and put that one there. Put some over here. Some of them might fall off the world just a bit. And I can also choose which type of plant to plant. So I'm noticing there's a lot of vertical space. We could probably build up to a wisteria on this lamppost. We'll go ahead and harvest that. We're almost there. Try to put one tire right there. Perfect. Now, some environments, there are a limited amount of objects, so you also have to be just a bit careful about your expenditure to that end. I think one more tire might do it. I just want to be a little careful. There we go. There's our wisteria. We're at 49%. And I won't put it too high because remember, I have to try to... Now, obviously, I could put a tire just in the air and make the wisteria grow. And that is a very valid way to do it. But it's also... I don't know. That doesn't seem as fair. Maybe I'll just do it for the sake of this level. And the car turns on when we put the plant on it. Or at least one headlight. Birds are coming to investigate. Nope, that's not close enough. Let's try putting it... Nope. No problem. So that's what happens. I'll try putting the wisteria a little bit lower. And it's okay if we go over the pothos a little bit. I'm just planning ahead here. We can also put, it might have also been a good idea to put pothos on the outside of the fence. This particular plant can grow both on the ground, but also on walls, which is useful. I'm being a little bit, oop, there goes some of our plant. That's okay. That was one of the ones that fell. Things tend to grow back though, so it's all okay. Next scene. We got some new things for creative mode. I'll show off creative mode at some point. Here's a good looking place we could put some wisteria. Put some right there. It gives us some signs. I'll put one. In fact, let's make it a little crooked, as it's saying. Put it right there. A little too zoomed out. Put one on this side. There. Now, if we really wanted to make post-apocalypse, we can make the signs on the ground if we want. I guess not in this case, but we can really do anything we want here. I'm going to go ahead and put some pothos on the ground to... Still have two signs left. I'm going to put some pothos right here so it can try to spread out on the ground. Put this here so we can do double duty. You can see it's spreading out all across the wall here. I'll encourage it to go down a little bit, perhaps, or no, it might just do what it wants. You can't really control where a plant grows. Some nice harvest here. This will be enough for a new wisteria, I believe. There we go. Put one right here. Put another sign there. It's growing nicely already. That one might have been a little too low. Some levels later on get a bit difficult, but for now, pretty smooth sailing. I say difficult. It's never challenging. I know I've done some parts of Super Hexagon here. It's nowhere like that, obviously. It's not the Super Hexagon post-apocalyptic planting games, but it can get moderately challenging, at least. Some new objects. Just giving myself some perspective there. And a new plant. I believe this is Monstera. It is. Now, this one in particular tends to like to grow just in the ground. In fact, it only grows in the ground. And you can see, just like those green framed wire meshes we saw earlier, this kind of pot, which has these green points to it, if we put the Monstera, yep, it says it's a planter, thank you game. If we put it there, it will grow up really quickly. This one always reminds me a bit of those pitcher plants that like to eat flies in the jungle. Could even plant another one if we wanted. For now, no. So they give us two seed pods. That one looks like a pothos, that one looks like a Monstera. You can sometimes guess what they're going to give you based on both the plants that they give you and also just the scenery itself. So this has a parking space. I'm going to assume there's going to be a car. Now I could put the car wherever. I could even try to balance it on top of the street lamp. But let's try to keep things nice and orderly. For now, at least. I'll put this one here. And there we go. We have a car. Put it in its spot. Put a tire here. I think it's... And there we go. There's the street lamp. It means nothing other than it's just a cool scenery thing. And in fact, I'm never sure why the lights light up as they do. If it's a storytelling thing, if it's something else, I guess it's left to my discretion. That's going to fall over. And they give us the vacuum tool, so now I can vacuum up a lot of fruits if I wanted to. There's also a chainsaw. I barely, if ever, used that, to be quite honest. I think it's more fun just to like work around what you're doing and try to reorient something. We'll keep moving. Now I can keep building on these. So I say continue. I could have just kept planting on this, but it's always a good idea to hit continue there, just because some of these levels, as we just saw, though there will be another part that will appear, will spring up. So it's always good to have some seeds on hand, some objects, etc. I will put this pothos right here. Put some things in the shopping cart, maybe even on the trash can. I was expecting that. Nope. Okay, that did it. Not a problem. So I'm going to put down another Monstera before I do this car. I might have enough for 2. Because I know the car has that bigger sphere, so I want to put down a few things before it. That way they can all benefit. There we go. We can put one on the car. We're up to 52%. 3, perhaps. And you can see we started from just a blank canvas here, and we have a nice looking environment. Here's where it can be a little bit challenging just to try to get new items down with everything going on. I'm going to put a few more Monstera down. Maybe one more right there, even. So I guess we can think of this as a grocery store parking lot, maybe, or some other type of food store place. Now, I could be cheap and just put one out here, have it drop down, and then put it on top of the car. I don't feel that. That might fall off the car. That's okay. And there we go. No more for this particular level, but we can keep moving. It's always a good idea just to check behind in case they give you another seed bowl. I guess the question is, too, who built these planters with, built out of a car? Like, obviously, this car is buried there. Who made the planter after the car was buried? So I have a theory in my head where there's some kind of apocalypse, but then there's survivors somewhere in the apocalypse, and they're building off of the ruins of the past. So that's why we see like these planters and other stuff like that. It's just a theory, maybe even a game theory, as you could call it, but I don't know. It's just my own personal headcanon here. Let's grab some wisteria. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right too. Obviously, I could have put down some pothos to start, but hey, it's up to me. Down some wisteria there. We'll do pothos next, somewhere around there. Let's do pothos around the back here. Put a sign right in there. Seems to like that. We'll do another pothos right there. Get both ends of it. The music in this game, too, is also phenomenal. The albums, there's 2 volumes for the soundtrack. They're on Spotify, and I often listen to them at work. I really highly recommend them. Great focusing music. I guess you could classify it as ambient, maybe. Always a preferred genre of mine, especially when I work. Now I can obviously put down some more plant. I'll do that. And I'll do that on this side as well. We can go to the next scene. Just taking a look around, taking this all in. I'm going to put the Monstera down right on top. And I believe that's some pothos. We'll put it on the side here. Sometimes the signs are a bit finicky where you have to make sure you're putting them down on the ground there, like that. Let's grab some wisteria. I always like some good plant diversity. I mean, there's interesting stories here, even with the props. Like, all of a sudden, they give you a bunch of suitcases and luggage. Whose suitcases were they? Why are they here? Those questions always go, for lack of a better term, unanswered. And I think that's to this game's benefit, where you can make up your own stories, at least within the confines of what's going on. And you're free to make up your own ideas about all of this. I, for one, enjoy it, at least in this context. Put down another Monstera. Let's do one right there. And just the act of putting down these objects, you're creating this urban decay, this urban wasteland for, I guess, no other reason than to create your own set dressing, which is nice. I mean, everyone is going to have a different way of doing this. Now, I, as a librarian, might not want to organize my suitcase collection like this, but if it was the post-apocalypse, what else am I going to do? Plant placement system is also pretty intelligent, so it can kind of tell where you want to put stuff. There we go. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. So this one is likely going to be a larger map. I say that because usually the larger settings, maps, however what you want to call it, they usually start somewhere small. So you're kind of constrained here to only build on this one part. So it can be a little bit of a challenge, at least at first. We have some gnome dudes. We'll try to put them on their chairs. Have a gnome party. This one can be... It even makes a gnome noise. Give these guys some juice. apple juice or something. Continue. And here's what I mean. It's already a much larger. This is probably the largest environment so far. So we'll have some fun here. Pothos to start. I know the Pothos, this is a good spot for Wisteria if we can manage it. I'm going to put Pothos. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one on the grounds nearby. This could be a little tricky. That one might have been a mistake in the middle there, but we'll see if we can just about work around it. Here we go. This will help things a little bit. I already have Monstera selected. The crows are pretty happy, or maybe unhappy with me. Hard to tell. Should go ahead and collect some stuff. Now that I have this here, I put it there on purpose. That way I can get some better props for the Wisteria. I'll start going in that direction just a bit. There we go. Right here should be perfect. We'll give these gnomes a little warning sign. There's the edge. Oops. That could have gone a little worse. A little better. Not a huge deal. I'll give these guys some better warning signs, maybe a highway sign like that. The game really makes you just start to anthropomorphize anything that is vaguely human-shaped. Put another Wisteria right there. I'll go ahead and put a Pothos on this side so we get some really good plant growth going. That one's gonna fall. Not a problem. Since that one already made the plants grow, I'll just put it out there. Sign there. Warning, camper. And now some cars. So here, it's actually a good idea sometimes to grow in the vertical environments, at least for right now, just because this area, highway, there's going to be a lot of cars. If I had just grown everything on the ground, this would have been a lot harder. Probably would have had to put down more, I would have had to be more intelligent on how I did it there. Put a Monstera or two down. We're only 35% of the way there, too, so we're a ways off yet. Oops. Sometimes these can be finicky about the angles. It's also, why are the plants growing on concrete like that? Too, and how come they're growing so much? I guess that's the question. Maybe these plants in reality grow this large if they just go unchecked. It's hard to know, given that we don't currently at least live in a apocalyptic wasteland, so who knows? Who knows? I just love these gorgeous environments that we can create together. It's one of my favorite parts of this. You're working on these really small areas, you're trying to make one plant grow, but then it has effects on everything else where you place the objects. It's a good time. Let's try to get some of these new plants to grow. This is where, like I was saying, you have to start thinking strategically about where you put stuff. I mean, this is how I hope my apocalypse goes. If there ever is an apocalypse, it's just plants, some nice atmospheres. I mean, we have some nice pastel backgrounds, some nice music. Could be a lot worse. There's no techno barbarians running amok. It's just plants. And here's where things start getting a bit trickier. I'm gonna have to think strategically here because in order to get smaller objects, I'm gonna have to use up all of these cars. And I am not sure, other than right here, where I really want to put these cars. Maybe I could balance it on the rebar there. Hard to say. Let's see if that works. That worked. We're getting close. 70. Well, a lot more already. Can I put a car right here? Ooh, that's not a good idea. That somehow worked. Okay. Okay. Ooh, okay, that... I don't think that is how physics works, but I'm not going to complain in this case. Looks cool. It really looks cool. From this perspective, at least. When you actually think about it, yeah, no. Down a bit more pathos. Right, this is what I meant about putting too many plants down on the ground. Try to balance more car on top, maybe. Yes, okay, that worked. I'm not gonna... Our meter went actually backwards a bit there. But it does give us some spots to put plants, which I'm not gonna complain about. We're getting about up here too, but I don't want a tire to fall off and then just kill a bunch of plants. Here's where the vacuum's helpful. You have so much stuff going on, it can be a little hard to tell what you want to do. So I'm going to take advantage of this physics abomination here and try to put down some wisteria. I'll even put some right there. Try to get some tires on top. I might have to put something down in the middle there. I think I will. It actually might. So I'm at 93. No, that was actually a really bad idea. Okay. That's all right. That is plenty fine. It's actually works better for me just because I can actually put stuff down. So we'll get back up to where we were pretty quickly. Yeah, I think we're at 93-ish. We're almost there already. Let me just put down some more Monstera. That's probably what I should have done to start. So you have to think both in the big picture and then these smaller pictures as well. Ah, we have some space there too. We'll just go ahead and put this there. Okay, we get a teddy bear in a boombox. Yeah, I know how that feels. 93%, so we're... Oh, no. So this is what can happen, too, is... We might have to rethink this. That's okay, though. That's part of the fun of this. I'm gonna try to get by it just by putting down a bunch of Monstera. See if I can almost cheese it. I didn't want to cheese it this early, but we have a lot of plant points going. Might as well take advantage of it. 97, probably, yep, 98. It's just, I haven't been using the plants as much, too, as I probably could have put more down to start, but that's okay. Just gonna fire a bunch off on the ground here. 99. I think we might be able to squeeze through here. Maybe. Hard to say. Yes, okay. Thank goodness. I did not want to potentially... I mean, I would have been fine redoing this, but we already put a lot of work here. So I'm glad we were able to get that to work. Okay, fresh slate. Now I'm already noticing some of these grassy spots, and it gave me... Oh. Sometimes it's a little hard to read the text down the bottom. I'm not super familiar with this particular plant species. I think that says Fratides? You have to pardon my pronunciation here. It's wheatgrass. It looks like wheatgrass, at least to me. I'll look up the pronunciation of this later on. I'll do my homework for the next part, but we'll just call this wheat for now. Maybe wild grass. Radiates. I'll have to think about that. Regardless, though, it's giving us some hints on where to put it. I will indeed oblige. It says this is also a planter. So that means this particular wild grass will grow plenty quickly. I also have to wonder sometimes, did these signs go up because of this car flipping, or was it something else? These grow very fast. I think we have... Oh, next scene. I have to imagine that's how Kansas or Nebraska or any of those Midwest states will look after an apocalypse. It's just wheat. It's just all wheat. Okay, so they're giving us some ideas here. I'm gonna put everything pretty centrally, at least to start. Put 2 on this side, 1 there, and then 1 on this side. Yep. Oh, that was a Monstera. I thought that was another wisteria. My bad. We'll even put this one. I did not mean for that to bounce, but it's like when you flip a coin and it's not heads or tails, it's just the edge. If I give that a nudge, maybe it will fall over. No. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna roll with that. Sometimes that's just what you gotta do. Roll with the punches. I'll even put a pothos on this side, just to humor myself. Oops. I'll put down some more of this wheatgrass. Just thinking about this one. I might put this one on the edge here. I know that's not how highway signs look, or at least the ones I've seen, but it works. It works. grab maybe 1 or 2 monstera here. We'll spread out a bit in here. I also just want to be proactive about putting enough plants down. Cool. Already getting some pretty neat environments here. Let's get this there. I'll be a little sneaky and I'll even put some on the side here, just so it spreads out a bit. Oops. Nice. Oh, this is already looking pretty neat. We'll have to get the rest of this to match up. There's one of our fun planters, giving us a bunch of seeds. I'm glad I didn't put the camper down up there. That would have been a little difficult to deal with. They're giving us a lot of planters, so I am going to take advantage of that. Is that Pothos? It is. Okay. You can see the Pothos really spreads out here, so we'll get there. Let me put down some more wheat grass. You can already tell I'm putting the camper in there. I know the camper is going to have one of those big spheres going on, so we can get it to benefit everyone. %. I'm going to try to finagle maybe a little bit. No, I don't think so. It's going to be a little difficult to put some wisteria there. Put down some more monstera, though. I think this is as good as we're getting for right now, though. Maybe I spread things out a little too far. We'll see. Don't think we're getting anything else for right now. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to just try the wild grass, see how much we can do with that. Oh, there was one of the seed pods, thank goodness. I was wondering what was going on. Just missed one of the seed pods. That would have been a little difficult to catch, I think. We should have plenty of plants down now. We're almost there. I think this might actually do it. Maybe this one. Down some car seats. And there we go. I'm pretty happy how this turned out. And now we're at the map. So you can see where we came from. This was highways 1-1. We're at 114 there. We can start junkyard 2-1, or also railroads 6-1. So we have a lot in between there. I'm going to call this a part right now. I hope you enjoyed this lonesome road, this highway that we've been on, and the construction with plants we've been doing so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.